Good afternoon, this is your captain speaking. We are here sailing under the Big Mac Bridge, crossing over to Lake Michigan. What's up, guys? I just left St. Ignace and just about under the bridge here. And really excited to get on and move over to Beaver Island there. It's getting cold at night, 47 degrees last night. I was freezing in the sleeping bag last couple nights. So as I said just a minute ago, just about under the Big Mac Bridge here, which is super cool, a big milestone for me. I know you guys saw in the other video, you know, Mike taking us around on the bridge, or under the bridge in his boat. Well, yeah, now I'm doing it in my boat. So super cool. It's a milestone down. I'm getting into my last and final Great Lake, Lake Michigan, and then I'm going to be going over to Beaver Island. It's got a nice harbor, St. James Harbor. So I'm checking in there and just going to spend the night and then probably move over to Petoskey after that. Does look like I've got a 9-hour sail today, so I don't think I'm going to drop the hook until about 10:30, 10:45 tonight. So I'm hoping the winds pick up a little bit, but if not, I got the engine running. Lake Michigan, baby! Woo! Hey guys, made it here to Beaver Island, and I got in late last night, about 10:15ish, and it was just pitch dark, and none of the buoy lights were on, so I had a little bit of trouble getting in. Again, thank you Navionics. Digital navigation is great. So when I was here, there's probably about 5 anchor lights that I saw up. But as I was crawling through here trying to find a good spot to drop anchor, I noticed 4 other boats that didn't have anchor lights on, which, guys, I mean, come on, that's no good. That's a safety rule. You got to have that on. And so I'm lucky. I have a handheld flashlight, a beam torch, and I kind of went up on the bow and could move that back and forth to find my way. So since the winds are out of the southeast and my next destination is to the southeast, I've decided to hang out here and just have a movie day, a boat project day, just kind of relax. You know, again, I was up late last night dealing with this stuff after a 9-hour sail, and I'm kind of happy to just hang out and watch some movies. So Lord of the Rings is on today, all 3 of them, and just chilling, really, having a good time. It's nasty weather outside, but it's comfortable in here. Tomorrow we'll be heading southeast down towards Petoskey, and then continuing south towards Chicago. I'm still on that September 15th schedule to get there in time, and I shouldn't have an issue clearing that, maybe a few 3 or 4 days early. Alright guys, checking in here. I am in between Beaver Island and Lake Charlevoix here, cutting back east across Lake Michigan, and I just got an alert that there's some bad weather coming in. I don't know how bad. It's definitely going to be a good rain shower. I don't know about lightning yet, and it's coming right across. It's just about in Charlevoix now, and I'm I think 2 hours out. So I've got it coming at me now, so I'm going to go and take down the mainsail and maybe furl in the front one a little bit. I'm getting my rain gear out now. Again, this is that Gill offshore O2 gear. There's the trousers and the jacket, and it really does keep you dry if you guys are looking for that stuff. So I'm going to get ready, get the boat prepped, and hopefully we'll, well, not hopefully, but we'll probably see some rain here in another 45 minutes or so. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm here just outside of Lake Charlevoix. I'm coming in on the Pine River channel, and we'll get the bridge operator to open up the bridge there. You can see some dunes in the background. Oh, and I've never got any rain. It never came through. I'm wondering if it's yet to come still inside, so we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so this is the Pine River right here leading into Lake Charlevoix, and I couldn't hail anyone on 9, 13, 16, all the major channels that you would call a bridge on. So I don't know even if there's an attendant there. So what I did was I just came into the river here, and some guy who was walking down here, I just threw him my rope. He said he could help out, and I put my fenders out and just tied up here. So I'm only going to be here about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll get the engine started back again and head down through the bridge. Hopefully at their 6 o'clock opening. I'll be kind of frustrated if they don't open at 6 o'clock. Hopefully there's either an auto attendant or someone in there just not listening to the radio. So hopefully we'll be in Lake Charlevoix here in just a minute. Ducks have been swimming around my boat here for about 45 minutes. I give out one piece of bread. I'm here for a couple hours. Alright, so right now I'm going to cook up some pork chops. I haven't done an episode on this yet or any filming on this. This is my Magma 16-inch, I believe it is, diameter propane grill. And so what you do is, these are the 1-pound green Coleman gas canisters that you screw in there. And then this is your regulator on top, and then inside you would light that there. So what I will do is grab my lighter, open up the regulator, and we got flame. So one thing is these things, I'll let you guys know, they burn or they cook really, really hot. So I always turn my flame down about as much as I can. But then of course it always goes out on me if there's ever any wind. This is one of the things that I wish I could use more as my outdoor grill, but if there's ever any wind, you just can't do it. So I haven't given you guys, I guess, an intro to where I'm at. Right now I am in Oyster Bay, which is a northern cove or northern bay of Lake Charlevoix. And that is an inland river right off of Lake Michigan. So I went in, you guys saw the drawbridge, I went through that, and then I came in. It's like another 30 minutes to get to here, and I just dropped the anchor. There is no wind or wake. There's a little bit of rain you might be able to see out there. So I don't think that's going to interrupt the grilling too much. Certainly doesn't bother the ducks. So I'll let this heat up, spray it, and then I'm going to put some pork chops on, and then maybe make some vegetables downstairs. See, I told you, it's been like 2 minutes. These things are already getting roasted. Try to open them up a little bit. Keep them off the flames so much. You guys don't get out of here, you're next. You're just lucky it ain't duck season. Good morning, guys. Just made some pancakes and some coffee and enjoying this beautiful Anchorage. It is about 17 feet right here, and you can totally see the bottom. I could see it from about 22 feet, 23 feet, and that was last night. So it's awesome here. Unfortunately, the only reason I'm staying is because there's about to be a bad storm coming in here this afternoon. Although it looks pretty nice to me, so who knows? Hopefully these waves go away. Probably 2-foot rollers right now. Not making it uncomfortable, but you know, it could always be calmer. Alright guys, now that breakfast is done and cleaned up, today is going to be project day. It looks like the waves have subsided a little bit, so I can actually kind of have a steady hand here. So first thing I'm going to do is I have an air horn here. I have an extra one in there in my emergency drawer, but I wanted to have one on deck somewhere very close and somewhere I'm able to reach, but somewhere where it's also out of the way. This is something I want to have going through the river system just in case it's a foggy day, early morning, later at night, and big barges, maybe extra traffic or whatnot. Sometimes you just need to honk your horn, let someone know that you're there. So I want to be able to have this easy and accessible from the cockpit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mount it right here. This is just a box that had my speedometer on the outside and a depth finder, but that thing is no longer working anymore. So this is just an empty box, and I'm actually going to run my next project. I'm going to run some electrical outlets to the outside, USB and 12 volt. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this attachment right into the side here, and then this horn will sit facing backwards. And so if I ever need to make a quick pull on it, I grab from the outside, pull this way, the horn will rotate out, and then I've got it out in the cockpit to use. Our next project is to install a fuel primer bulb in line between the fuel water separator and the primary fuel filter. So what that does is there is a small manual primer lever that just doesn't work at all, or if it does, it's not getting me anywhere, and I've heard the same from a lot of other guys. So this one goes out to Sailor Punk on YouTube. His YouTube channel, Sailor Punk. He had a video on this, so I don't take credit for this. This is up. This is all his. What I'll do is just unpull a 5/16 inch internal diameter fuel line out of there, and then I'm adding an extension in there along with that primer bulb. So it's just a couple hose clamps, and it should be a pretty easy process. However, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to bleed the engine afterwards to get it running again, since air will get into the fuel line. All right, so back here I'm in the quarter berth, and there's an engine compartment hatch. And so this is kind of down in the back of it. So what you've got right there underneath my shadow, that is the fuel water separator. And so fuel goes in this line, up that copper or steel tubing, then goes through the water separator, separates water and diesel, and then diesel comes out right underneath my finger through that copper tube, and then down through that rubber hosing. And then here's that primer bulb that I just installed. And so then on the other side of that primer bulb, I have this 5/16 hose. I have a whole bunch extra because instead of cutting it now, I'll cut it later when I need to. It's not in the way of any heat. It's not in the way of me getting to other things back here, so I'm gonna leave it in line. All right, so inside of the engine hatch here, our fuel pump is in the back. That squeeze ball I just put in, and that comes around the back side and up through a pipe that's over here and into the primary fuel filter. So what I'll do is you can unscrew this one in the back, and then we can pump that until all of that fuel rises up and up and up, and then it'll start coming out of here. And when there's no more air coming out and it's just fuel, we can tighten that down and give it a crank to see if there's enough fuel in the engine for it to get going. So interestingly enough, there's fuel in there, but there's all that air. Alright, so now that there's no more air bubbles coming out, tighten this down, and we'll try giving it a crank. Clean up some of this diesel too. So that's how you install a fuel line primer bulb, and then bleed the fuel line of any air bubbles inside and get it going. If you guys have questions or comments, please post them or let me know. Be happy to help.